Chapter 9, economics, price elasticity of supply, right? Great. We talk about price elasticity of supply. First, we have to do the case study before we move further. The case study of housing is here for everybody to read. Now. You can read it later, okay? So, housing. And the potato clips together. So they say, what is the supply of houses? Why is the supply of houses slow to increase in the UK? Based on the case study that we read, supply is slow because it takes time to construct. To construct a house, it takes time. It's not something that comes up easily. So as a result of that, the supply of housing will be slow. Clear. 2, describe the problem caused by a lack of supply in the UK housing market. So lack of supply, which represents shortage, has brought about increase in price. So lack of supply of housing will bring about increase in price of housing because house is short. There's shortage in the market, and whenever there's shortage, price increases. Clear. Question 3. Do you think potato crisps? Producers could increase output at short notice? Explain your answer. I said there's no reason why crisps producers could not increase the supply of crisps, because the resources needed, such as potatoes and cooking oil, should be available. So they can increase the supply in a very short notice. What they need is potato and oil. Yes. So it's clear. Yes. Question 4. How would holding large stocks of potato crisps affect producers' ability to increase supply at short notice? I wrote, holding large stock will allow the producers of crisps to respond very quickly to increasing demand. So it's going to affect them, but this is going to be a positive effect, because when they can keep supply, it means when demand increases, they can quickly respond to the increasing demand. But if they don't have it available, if demand increases, there's nothing they could do. So keeping stocks allows them to respond to increasing demand of crisps in the market. Clear? So go on. What is price elasticity of supply? Price elasticity of supply is a degree of responsiveness between the quantity supply of a product as a result of a change in price. That means price is changing. As a result, the quantity supplied in the market is changing. That is price elasticity of supply. Is it clear? Yes. So we go on to, so look at this graph here. We have supply A and supply B. Are you there? Yes. And both of them are response to a change in price. Are you with me? Yes. So for at supply A, before now, the quantity is at 4. Yeah. For supply A, the quantity does not change. At supply B, the quantity changed very well. Do you see? It expanded. Yes. So supply A is price inelastic and supply B is price elastic. So what is inelastic supply? Inelastic supply occurs when there's no significant change in the quantity supply as a result of a change in price. Are you with me? Do you get my point, please? Yes.
The quantity is 4. That's 5.
Yeah, there's an increase in price from 4 to 5, but the quantity supplied is from 20 to 22 and 20 to 40. So for supply A, there are 2 products there. Yes. At A, it is price inelastic. That means the quantity supplied did not increase, does not have a significant increase as a result of a change in price. This could be a house. The price of house can increase immediately, but it doesn't mean that you're going to build a house immediately. So the supply of house is always price inelastic. But for food, clothes, the supply can be price elastic, because as soon as the price increases, they can easily, the materials needed and the time to make them available is not that much. So for the product B, the supply is price elastic because the quantity supplied increases from 20 to 40. So that is what we call elastic supply. So that means there's a significant change in the quantity supplied as a result of a change in price. Is it clear? Yes. Okay. So we'll move on. Then we have the calculation. I've explained elastic and inelastic,
It's the same
for demand. Yes, I've explained it. So we have activity 1. Are you there?
Yes.
Okay. So they said inelastic supply. Though before then, okay, let's just do activity one and then come back here. So they said what happens to the quantity supplied when the price increases from 20 to 30? When the price increases from 20 to 30, the quantity supply increases. Can you see that?
Yes.
To 6,000 units. 6,000 units. Is it clear? So what is meant by inelastic supply? Inelastic supply, this example, use this case as an example in your explanation. Inelastic supply occurs when the quantity supply does not have a significant change as a result of a change in price. Do you understand? So that means there's no significant change in the quantity supply as a result of a change in price. That is inelastic supply. Do you get it?
Yes.
And this case study, I wrote in this case, the change in price is 50%. Price increases by 20 to 30, that's 10. That's 50%, right?
Yes.
But the change in quantity supply is 20%, from 5 to 6. When you do 5 over 6, we give you 5 divided by 6 multiplied by 100 will give you 20%. So there's no significant change in that. Is it clear?
Yes.
So we go to calculating the PEC now. Are you there? So to calculate PES, sorry, it is percentage change in the quantity supplied over percentage change in price. So what is our percentage change in quantity supply? I say it is Q2 minus Q1 over Q1 divided by P2 minus P1 over P1. I think that is clear. So we go from the calculation. As soon as you're done with the calculation, you find the values because the calculation will give you values. Yes or no?
Yes.
So if your PES is 0, it means perfectly inelastic.
Yes.
If it is to infinity, it means perfectly elastic, like maybe 4, 5, 7, 10. It's perfectly elastic. If it is 1, it is unitary. Clear?
Yes. 1 or minus 1?
No, 1 for PES is 1. PED, maybe minus 1 is.
Yes.
Is it unitary? Is it clear?
Yes.
So we move on. Price elasticity and the slope of the supply curve. So based on this graph, just go down to the graph. Right there.
Yes.
So S1, at S1, which is straight, it is perfectly inelastic. It doesn't change. It's fixed. At S2, it is perfectly elastic at S2. Perfectly elastic.
S1 is inelastic.
Inelastic. S2 is perfectly elastic.
Yes.
And S3 means there's what we call it's equal to 1. It's equals to 1. S3. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay, we'll move on. We have activity 2. There's a case study here. They said we should calculate the PES for the replica shares in this case. So the P1 is 800 is there. The P2 is 640. That's the price. The Q1 is 1,600,000 and Q2 is 1,200,000. Are you there?
Yes.
That's so they say we should calculate PES. PES is Q2 minus Q1 over Q1 divided by P2 minus P1 over Q1. So we have 1,200,000 minus 1,600,000 divided by 1,600,000 divided by 640 minus 800 divided by 800. So when you do the calculation, it's going to give you 1.25. Is it clear?
Yes.
Negative 1.25. Okay, yeah, positive 1.25. Positive 1.25, which is elastic.
More than 1 elastic.
Yeah.
0 is
Less than 0. Less than 1 inelastic. More than 1 elastic.
1 is
Unitary.
Unitary.
Clear.
Perfectly elastic.
To infinity, like 5, 7, 8 is perfectly elastic. Is it clear?
Yes.
So question 2. So what is meant by elastic supply? Use this case as an example. Elastic supply means there's a significant change in the quantity supplied as a result of a change in price. There's a significant change in the quantity supplied as a result of a change in price. That's elastic supply. Clear?
Yes.
So here they said, okay, the quantity supply as a result, okay, yeah. So I think that is clear, right?
Yes.
So go to factors influencing PES. What factors influencing PES? One of the factors that influence PES is factors of production. When we talk about factors of production, we're talking about resources that we put together to be able to produce goods and services. So if these resources, if they are not like you cannot access them, you cannot find them, You need labor, you need capital, you need enterprise
Yes.
to produce goods and services, right?
Yes.
So if you cannot have these things, are you going to be able to produce?
Mm.
So if the business doesn't have access, if firms do not have access to factors of production, supply cannot increase. Is it clear?
Yeah.
2, availability of stocks. Stocks are goods that we sell. So the price of stocks, the price of what we sell can increase. But if we don't have them available, are we going to be able to sell them even at a higher price? We won't be able to sell them. Is it clear?
Yes.
The third one, spare capacity. Do you have space? The price of goods might increase, but is there space for the business to produce more? If there's no space for the business to produce more, it cannot sell. So your space is about 100. The space of the business is 100, and the price increases. Maybe the price increases. You cannot still sell more than 100. But if there is space, there is spare capacity. That means you can produce like 500 and put it in a place. That means if the price increases, you can sell more. But without the spare capacity, there's nothing the business can do when the price changes. The last one, sorry, time. Like we make the example of house.
Last time.
Sorry, the last point, house. We said it takes time to build a house. So that means whatever the price of houses might be, we cannot increase the supply of house immediately. So if it takes time to produce a product, no matter what the price is, you cannot change it immediately. You cannot increase the supply immediately. Is it clear? So PS for manufactured and primary products. For that, we're talking about goods that we have to produce with raw materials. If it takes time, it will be longer before it's been produced. If it is short time, we can get them produced immediately. Is it clear?
Yes.
So go to the MCQ. Question 1. What is the value of price elasticity of supply of a straight line supply? With a straight line. A straight line.
Straight line.
This is a straight line.
Straight.
In between, it's between this and this. That's a straight line.
1.
1. Good. Perfect. That's perfectly elastic. So we go on. Question 2. The price of a product rises by 12%. As a result, the producer increases the amount supplied by 18%. What is PS? That's 18% over 12%, which is 1.5%. 18 divided by 12. Clear? Then we have the case study. The first question says, describe what price elasticity of supply is. Price elasticity of supply is the degree of responsiveness between the quantity supply of a product as a result of a change in price. Question 2, it said, why is the supply of coconut likely to be inelastic? Coconut takes time to produce. So the PS of coconut is likely to be inelastic because it takes time to increase the quantity supplied. Clear?
Yes.
That's coconut. The third question, describe why the price of coconut has risen sharply recently. The market prices are determined by the forces of demand and supply. In this case, the demand for coconut and its related product is rising. Why? Because the demand is higher than the supply. Clear?
Yes.
And the last question, they said, how might the ability to store coconut for a long period of time affect PES? We said one of the factors that affects PE or price elasticity of supply is the spare capacity. Yes or no? So you have to store them. So yeah, one of the factors that can influence PS is the ability to store goods, your spare capacity. Yes. Producers that can store goods can respond quickly to price changes. If it is impossible to keep stocks, the supply will be priced inelastic. So coconut, if they cannot keep coconuts, so whatever the price is, the supply will still be priced inelastic. But if they can keep it, the price will be priced elastic. Is it clear?
Yes.
Shall we move on? So we go to chapter 10. It's going to be the same video, 9, 10, 11. Okay. Income elasticity now. Are you there?
Yes.
So we have the case study getting started. We have the cup and milk. Okay, so we have the case study. Which is most responsive to change in income? Demand for cars or demand for milk? The demand for new cars is the most responsive to changes in income. As the case study, Marion decided to buy a new car when her salary increases from 49 to 63. So based on the case study, Marion was able to buy a new car because its salary increased from 49 to 63. So that means the demand car was able to be purchased because the income increases. So it's responsive to income. If the income does not increase, it will not buy. Clear? So what reason can you give for your answer to number one? I wrote, the reason is that consumers do not have to buy new cars daily. Cars are not what you buy every day, unlike milk. Do you understand? So as a result, it is responsive to changes in income, unlike milk, which is considered as a need. Milk, we need it every time. Clear? Question 3. In pairs, draw up a list of in pairs. Let's just forget about the pairs thing. They won't ask you pairs. So go to what is income elasticity now? Are you there?
Yes.
Income elasticity. What is income elasticity of demand? It is the degree of responsiveness to the quantity demanded of a product as a result of a change in the level of income. The degree of responsiveness as a result of responsiveness to the quantity demanded of a product as a result of a change in the level of income. That is price elasticity of income. Income elasticity of demand. Clear? So the formula is percentage change in quantity demanded over percentage change in the level of income. So it is Q2 minus Q1 over Q1 divided by Y2 minus Y1 over Y1. Clear?
Yes.
So we have to interpret the values. Interpreting the values, we have necessities. Why do we call them goods that are necessary? Goods that like food, clothing, they are necessities. So whatever our level of income is, we have to buy them. So it is what? It is income inelastic. So it is either plus one or minus one. It's income inelastic. No matter what happens, we have to buy them. Clear?
Yes.
For luxury goods, these goods, we tend to buy them if our income increases. So they are discretionary. We only buy them if our level of income increases. It is income elastic, yes, like a car.
Yes.
Clear? If normal goods, for normal goods, these goods, the demand for them increases as our level of income increases. The demand for them increases as our level of income increases. Normal goods. But inferior goods, the demand for them reduces as our level of income increases. If our income increases, the demand for these use. These are things we think about when we don't have money. So when we don't have money, the demand for them increases. When we have money, the demand for them reduces. That's inferior. Is it clear? So we have activity one. He said calculate the income elasticity of demand for product X and Y. It is changing in quantity demanded over change in income. So we have Q1 to be 24, Q2 to be 30, Y1 is 30,000, Y2 is 32,000. So solving them means we have 32,400 minus 30,000 divided by 30,000 multiplied by 100. That gives us 8% in income. Then for products, for product X, we have 30 minus 24 over 24, which is 25%. So the YED for product X will be 25% divided by 8%. I did it here anyway, which is 3.125. For product Y, we have the same income, which is 8%. Therefore, the quantity for product Y, it is Q2 minus Q1 over Q1, which is 9 minus 10 over 10 multiplied by 100. It gives us minus 10%. So product YED product for product Y will be minus 10% over 8%, which is minus 1.25. So product X and Y are income elastic, and product X is normal goods because it is positive, and product Y is inferior goods because it is negative. Clear? It's inferior. If the YED value is negative, it's inferior. If it is positive, it is normal. Clear? We have price elasticity and businesses. Price elasticity can help the business with useful information that can change its total revenue, which means if firms can predict the value. So what they are saying is with price elasticity of demand, or with price elasticity, you can, as a business, when you use price elasticity, you can understand what money will come to your business if you increase the price of a product, what money will come to your business in terms of revenue if you reduce the price. So that is what price elasticity will do with business. Is it clear? Yes. For income elasticity, income is important for businesses because people will only buy if their income increases. They will not buy if they have fallen income. So it is important for businesses to understand, to be able to estimate the income level. Now that is what will allow them to determine if they have to produce more in the future or not. Because everything has to depend on consumers, and consumers also rely on their income. Is it clear? We have indirect taxes. Oh no, price elasticity and government. Yes, that is where we have indirect taxes. For government uses taxation and subsidies to correct the economy. So if government wants to increase, if government increases, government uses taxes to increase revenue, but target goods that have few substitutes or not necessary. If government wants to increase their taxes, they get it from indirect taxes. They can charge people on what they buy, but they will not charge people on food, clothing, shelter. No, they will charge people on things that they can buy when they have the money. Do you understand? And if government wants to help to consume goods, government will give subsidies. So subsidies will make the cost of goods to fall, which makes it easy for people to buy. Do you understand? So goods that are priced inelastic, like food, housing, government can subsidize for them.
Yes.
Because no matter what the price are, people have to buy them. As a result of that, government would subsidize so that it becomes easier for people to buy or affordable for them to buy. Is it clear? Yes. We have activity 2. We have the case study. It said, how much fuel duty will the government collect from a driver who buys 50 liters of petrol per week? 50 liters of petrol per week in 52 weeks will be 50 multiplied by 52 multiplied by 57.95. And that gives us 1506.70 per year. 52 weeks make a year. Yes. Clear. Question 2. What is the VAT? VAT is, they said 20% of VAT. Are you with me?
Yes.
So if it is VAT is 20%, that means 60 multiplied by 20 over 100 will give us 12.
12%.
Yes. Clear?
Yes.
Not 12%, 12 pounds. Yeah. Question 3. Comment on the amount of tax taken by the government from the sale of petrol. 12 is more than half. He said more than half of the money generated from the sale of petrol is taken by government. So government is taking more than half of what it generates from petrol. Because it's for those who are rich. If you are not rich, you don't buy a car. Do you understand? Question 4. Why do government choose products like petrol to impose heavy duties on? Because it has an inelastic demand. People would, in as much as you have a car, you have to drive it. It is inelastic. Is it clear? Yeah. Question 1. MCQ. Which of the following shows the income elasticity of demand for an inferior goods? I told you inferior goods has what? Negative. This is A. Question 2. The PED for a product is 2.4. What will happen if the price of the product increases by 10%? If it increases by 10%,
we do 10 over.
They said the PED is minus 2.4. So what will happen if the price of this product is increased by 10%? The price elasticity of no, the revenue will fall. It is elastic. It is the PED is elastic.
Yes.
So if it is elastic, that means a change in price will have a significant change in the quantity demanded. So if the price increases for a PED that is elastic, the quantity will fall. And if quantity falls, revenue would fall. Is it clear? Yes. We have a case study.
So the PED is elastic.
Elastic. The revenue will fall. Inelastic revenue and price increases, revenue will increase. Clear. They said calculate the percentage change in average income between 2001 and 2015 for the developing country in figure 1. So based on the case study, it is 18,000 minus 12,000 over 12,000 times 100, which is 50%. So you have to use both graph here to get that. And for number 2, it is 1 million minus 540,000 divided by 540,000 multiplied by 100, which is 85.2. Question 3. Question 3. Calculate the income elasticity of demand for red meat in the developing country. In developing country, in 2001, they have 12. In 2015, in 2018, it is 18. So 18 minus 12 over 12 multiplied by 100, that's 50%. So that's the income in that country. And the red meat is in 2001 and 2015 is 85.2%, which we already did there. So it's there, you see it. So it's 85.2. So that means why did 85.2% divided by 50%, which is 1.7, which is inferior or normal goods anyway. Question 4. Is demand for red meat in the developing country income elastic or income inelastic? Demand for red meat is income elastic because it is 1.7. Clear?
Yes.
He said, what evidence is there to suggest that red meat is in this developing country is a luxury good? It's a luxury good because I didn't write it anyway. Let me just do that now. So it's a luxury good because it is produced for those who can afford them. Is it clear?
Yes.
So here this is question 6. How might income elasticity be used for business in developing countries? Give 2 reasons. Income elasticity, we said businesses can use it to determine if consumers are able to buy or not. So the YED can be used by businesses in developing countries to determine if they will be able to increase their price as soon as income rises, or reduce price if income falls. Clear?
Yes.
So we'll move on. Question 11, what? Did we do the multiple choice? We did it, okay, yeah. So we have question 11, mixed economy. Chapter 11, sorry. Are you there?
Yes.
Okay. The mixed economy. Go to the case study. It said, who provide the goods and services shown in figure 11.1 and 11.2? In 11.1, these are consumer durables. So it's provided by the private sector.
Yes.
And here we have water and police service. These are essential. So they are provided by government. Clear? Question 2. Why do you think there are two sets of providers? There are 2 different providers based on the following reason. 1, for the first one, which are essential, or for the figure 2, which are essential, they are provided by the government because private sector cannot provide them. So they are expensive to be provided. So private sector would not, because some people will not be able to pay for it. There's no be free rider problem, so they don't want to pay. So it is provided by government using taxpayer money. And the other ones are consumer goods that can be provided by businesses, like the private sector, like the private sector, like the sole trader, partnership, they can provide it. Clear? Now go to the question, to the topic itself. The public and the private sector, are you there? So what's an economy? An economy is a system that is attempting to solve the basic economic problem. So it's an economy, it's a country. So what does the government do? It's because there's always scarcity, which is the problem. So the economy is trying to solve the basic economic problem of scarcity. That's an economy. So what is the basic economic problem? Scarcity, which is what to produce, how to produce, for whom to produce to. So this is what the economic questions will be. So we go to immediately, and we call it a mixed economy because it comprises both the private and the public sector. So we are starting with the private sector. For the private sector, these are businesses that are controlled by individuals or that are owned by individuals or group of individual or group of individuals. Clear? What are the ownership and control of private sector? They are controlled, they can be sole trader, which means it's controlled by 1 person, partnership 2 to 20 people. We have companies, shareholders. Clear? Then what are the aims of the private sector? The private sector's aims are one, survival, like a new business that is setting up. You want to continue to be relevant in the market. You want to gain the trust of customers because it's a new business. You can't just make profit immediately. So the first thing is how to understand the market, how to gain the trust of customers. And for new businesses too, or for existing businesses, if the economy is not moving well, they won't be thinking about profit. Rather, they will be thinking about surviving. Clear? Another aim is profit maximization. For profit maximization, it means you want to make the highest possible profit in the market. That could be an aim of a business. For growth, when you think about expanding your business, so your target is to expand your business. That's an aim. Clear?
Yes.
Social responsibility. Here, you don't think about profit, you don't think about expansion, you don't think about surviving, you think about the society as a whole. You want to help the society. You think about the stakeholders. That can be also an objective. Clear? Move on. The public sector is controlled by the government. And there are different businesses in the public sector. We have businesses from the central, that means the head of the government. So here, like the General Electric Company of Libya, GECO, that provides electricity, is the central. So it is controlled by the government, but they have directors that are nominated by the government. Clear?
Yes.
We have the public corporations like the Ministry of Education, the Libyan Ministry of Education, and these things, they are controlled by governments too, with taxpayer money. We have the local authority, the municipality, like Janzu municipality, their governments too, they control the area. And other public sector like postal, the Libyan Post Service, the railway, there's no railway in Libya anyway. So those are public sector business. So what are their aims? The public sector aims is to provide a quality service. That means one, they want to improve, because governments, they don't want to make profit. The only thing they want to do is to improve the services of the people. Are you there? So improving the quality of service. So they aim to improve the standard of their service. That means, they provide education, they want to do it better. They provide healthcare, they want to do it better. Now they are constructing roads across Libya. That is services. Clear?
Yes.
Minimizing cost. Government wants to make sure that they don't use resources. They want to be the one to manage resources of the country so that the resources can be enough for the future generation, people that are coming after us. Allow for social costs and benefits. Government always put into consideration the society. So before government take decision, they check the cost of the decision and they check the benefit of the decision. We call it cost benefit before government take decision. If the cost is more than the benefit, government will say no. But if the benefit is more than the cost, government will say yes. Is it clear?
Yes.
And sometimes government also make profits.
Yes.
For like not maybe here, but like Dubai, they have the Emirates airline. It's owned by government, but they make profit. Is it clear?
Yes.
We go to activity 1. Are you there? So the case study is there. Just go down. They say who owns and runs the Uganda National Water Sewage System? The NWSC is owned by the Ugandan government and run by a board of directors accountable to a government minister. Question 2. What are the aims of NWSC? The main objective of NWSC is to provide a public service, according to the case study, which is water sewage. Who do you think the government gets involved in business ownership? Why? Why do you think? So government gets involved in business ownership because the private sector cannot provide them. The private sector wants to provide goods that they can make profit from. Private sector will not make profit from road, street light. They cannot make profit from it. So they don't want to provide those goods. They only want to provide goods that are profitable to them. But government can provide these goods because government take care of the society. Is it clear?
Yes.
We have types of the economy. We have the market economy, which resources are controlled by the market forces of demand and supply. That is market economy. We have the planned economy, which resources are controlled by the government. And we have the mixed economy, which combines both planned and market system, which means the private and the public sector.
Yes.
Clear? Then we have the economic question. What to produce, how to produce, for whom to produce. What to produce means what kind of goods, what type of goods we want to produce, we have to make available for consumers. That is what to produce.
You did this.
Yes, I did.
Ah,
Planned economy, planned market, and yeah. So what to produce is the type of goods that we have to produce. The goods we want to make available for consumers. How to produce, the process. Are we bringing them from China? Are we producing it here? That is how to produce. For whom to produce? Who are those that will be benefiting from what we want to produce? That is what, how, and for whom. Clear? We go to market failure.
this is for this question is for private sector.
No, it will be public. So
The government.
it depends on the economic sector. If it is market, it is for the private sector. For the private sector, if it is mixed for both private and public sector, if it is planned, government. Clear?
Yes.
So go to market failure. For market failure, this occurs when the market forces of demand and supply leads to inefficiency. When the market forces of demand and supply fail to produce goods and services that we need. That is market failure. So what are the causes of market failure? The first one is externalities. So for externalities, I wrote, firms do not take into consideration the effect of their production on third party. So when they produce goods, they don't care if people are fine or not, like pollution, they pollute air. So these things cannot be, when it's inhaled by the people that do not provide them, it is externality. They have to pay to the hospital to take care of themselves. So that is externality. Clear?
Yes.
That's a market failure. Lack of competition. If it is only one provider of goods and services in the economy, that means we don't have choices. It's a market failure. 3, missing markets. If, like the private sector, they don't provide public goods, they underprovide merit goods like education and healthcare. The private sector do it, but they don't provide it for everybody. They only provide it for those who can afford it. So these two things are missing in the market economy. So if they are missing, there's a market failure. Clear? Lack of information. When there's no information, we don't have access to information. As a result of that, we overconsume what we are not supposed to consume, or we underconsume what we are supposed to consume. The business produce more than what they are supposed to produce, or they produce less of what they are supposed to produce because of lack of information. This is a market failure. Is it clear? Factor immobility. When we cannot change labor or capital, when we cannot switch them to do other things, they are just there, we cannot change them, then it is market failure. Or labor or your workers cannot do any other thing. As a result, they cannot produce those goods. It's a market failure. Your equipment cannot produce those things, then it's a market failure. Clear?
Yes.
Now we go to ways in which government can control market failure. Are you there?
Yes.
Number 1, for firms that pollute the atmosphere, government can give them financial penalty to pay to reduce pollution. 2, government can use legislation. Government can pass laws
Yes.
to prevent business from dominating the market. We said there's market failure when there's only one firm dominating the market, right? So government can come up with laws to prevent such things to happen. The third one, government can subsidize for those firms that can, for goods that are merit goods, goods that have to be provided by everybody, goods that have to be consumed by everybody. Government can provide it by subsidizing. And the last one, government can pass laws to make it illegal for businesses not to pass information or not to allow consumers to have access to information. Sometimes businesses, they keep hold of information. We don't have the information. As a result, we don't know the function of what we are buying. So government will make it illegal for businesses to withhold or withheld information.
Yes.
To correct market failure. Is it clear?
Yes.
So go to roles of the private and the public sector in the production of goods and services. The private sector is responsible for providing goods and services that is bought every day by people. But for the public sector, they provide goods that are public or merit goods. So what are public goods? Goods that are non-excludable and non-rivalry. Those are public goods. So we call it non-excludable because once it's been provided, you cannot stop me from consuming it.
Yes.
And for non-rivalry, your consumption does not stop my consumption, just like the street light. You pass through the street light.
Yes.
You passing it does not mean I cannot pass through it. I'll pass through it. The same light you can see is the same light I will see.
Yes.
So that means you consuming it does not stop the volume of what I can consume to, or you consuming it does not stop me from consuming it. That's the public good. Is it clear? We have activity 2. They said flood defense. Why are flood defense systems classified as a public good? Flood defense systems are classified or considered as public goods because they are non-excludable and non-rivalry. It's a flood.
Yes.
If it helps everybody, it does not take away somebody away. That means, in as much as you are within the environment, you can all enjoy the benefit.
Yes.
Nobody is stopping you from enjoying the benefit. Is it clear? Why do government need to intervene when there is a market failure? Market failure means the private sector do not provide goods and services that the public or the people want, right? So government needs to take charge or intervene because there's a market failure based on the fact that the private sector do not want to provide goods that people will not pay for. There's going to be a free rider problem. Like street light, if the private sector provides free light, street light, it means everybody can use it. But the private sector does not want to do that. They don't want free rider problem. Free rider is a person who enjoys the benefit of what others pay for.
Yes.
So street light is an example. So government has to provide it if government wants everybody to use it. Is it clear? We have the MCQ. Question 1. Which of the following goods or services is most likely to be provided by the public sector in a mixed economy?
Hey.
Motto is good. Question 2. Which of the following is an aim of public sector organization? Providing a public service. Yes, C. Clear. Go to the exam chapter question. They said describe what is a mixed economy. A mixed economy is that which allocation of resources is done by both the private sector and the public sector. In figure 11.4, in which country does the public sector play the greatest role? Explain your answer. So let's go back to figure 11.4. So here, the greatest is 58.1, which is Finland. So according to the figure 11.4, the public sector plays the greatest role in Finland, which is 58.14. Clear? Question 3. Describe the main method used in South Korea to distribute goods and services. South Korea has the lowest, which means government intervention in South Korea is less. So that means the private sector takes charge of South Korea. So goods and services are distributed mostly by the private sector. Clear?
Yes.
Question 4. In figure 11.4, which country would you expect taxes to be highest? They said these are public sector expenditures. The highest is Finland, 58.1. So if Finland is the highest as 58.1, and government does not have any money, government uses taxes to finance their projects. It means the greatest tax will be paid in Finland. Do you understand? So it is expected that to be Finland, as it has the highest national income. So Finland uses more taxes for their expenditure. Is it clear? Go to question 5. In some countries such as India and China, air pollution is a very serious problem. To what extent is this an example of market failure? I wrote, it's an example of market failure because firms in China and India do not put into consideration externalities. They don't care about the third party. So they make their production and emit carbon into the air, which makes the quality of air to be poor. And people that inhale it might get ill and they have to spend, which the firms do not care about. Is it clear? Yes. So that ends chapter 9, 10, and 11. Thank you.